America's electrical grid is under increased stress. With increasingly extreme weather, wider adoption of electrification, and hacker sophistication, the grid is falling short. Power outages are growing in frequency and impact. New energy supply is cleaner, but not able to provide reliable power to meet the needs of our growing economy. Traditional options to address these challenges, including on-site power, are expensive and come with a hefty environmental impact, creating a need for a more reliable and sustainable solutions to support critical infrastructure.
The hardest hit industries when the grid fails are industries that we classify as critical infrastructure. So when they don't have power, they can't serve their local communities. Grocery stores, senior living facilities, hospitals, water utilities, data centers, critical manufacturing, anyone that has a high cost of business interruption when they lose power. Those are the businesses that really get hurt the most when the grid fails.
You know, the power grid is really under a lot of stress now, and it's failing in its core mission of delivering reliable power to businesses that need it. There's really three factors that are causing that problem. One is that we're seeing increased risk because of severe weather, aging infrastructure, and even malicious attacks that are occurring on the grid. Number two is we're changing the mix of electric generation by putting a lot more renewables and storage on the grid. And then thirdly, we're electrifying a lot of things. We're electrifying buildings, we're electrifying transportation. That's adding a lot of stress to the grid because those loads are very, very large.
Some of the largest emerging users of power are data centers. These technological powerhouses play a vital role in supporting and driving our digital age. Can you imagine a world without connectivity? Here, at the Houston-based company Enchanted Rock, engineers are working around the clock to ensure that doesn't happen. They have developed a dual-purpose microgrid solution that's supplied by clean natural gas and renewable natural gas. As long as there is a gas pipe to tap into, microgrids like these can be installed easily to keep mission-critical businesses like data centers up and running, protecting them from a wide range of grid vulnerabilities.
So data centers benefit from having microgrids because they already are committed to having backup power on site. That's core to their ability to deliver reliable information services to their customers. Plus, that microgrid can provide support to the local community in the form of grid services so that when there's not a power outage, that local microgrid can provide backup power to the grid too, keeping the lights on for communities too.
The data center industry is the tip of the spear for the fourth industrial revolution, which is digitizing everything on the planet. We use 205 billion kilowatt hours as data centers, which is over 2% of the world's energy. So having a way to give back instead of just take off the grid is super, super critical. For us, the perfect solution is to come up with a microgrid that allows us to stay competitive, also be the givers instead of the takers, so that we're good neighbors, we're good for the community, and we're good for the environment, and we can still be that tip of the spear for this fourth industrial revolution, which is so critical for all humans around the globe.
To manage our microgrids, we use a system called Granite ecosystem. So when you're operating a microgrid, first the important part is you have to collect a lot of data to make decisions. Then you take that data and you have to analyze it to figure out what's the right thing to do. Then the humans can interact with the information to make decisions. Then you automate the decisions by rolling them back out into the microgrid. And finally, you monitor all those things to make sure things work the way you expect them to work.
Data centers have become the beating heart of our increasingly interconnected world. And now more than ever, they are critical to our daily lives. Natural gas microgrids are the sustainable and reliable backup power solution that will keep the power on and the data flowing.
We want to be more sustainable. We want to take good, tangible steps with a partner that has a tried and true technology that we can offer our clients. And then we always like to say, being first to market is great, being last to market is horrible, because we want everyone to follow suit. We want to change the narrative, and we want to change the way we do business in the data center space.
It's the bird's eye view in the Network Operations Center that's constantly looking at grid disruptions, any technical abnormalities that the grid might see, as well as the health and the condition of the system. We're very focused on the performance of our system to protect our customers. With the standardization of our equipment, it's easy to deploy, it's easy to train our people on, and give them the service that they want and need in a crisis, weather event, any type of disruption.
As Enchanted Rock works towards offering even more sustainable solutions to data centers, some of the latest developments involve renewable fuels.
Every business that stores their data in a space and uses the data, applies the data, transacts with the data, it's super critical for them to be able to rely on the fact that they're not going to have any downtime. Backup and reliability is very, very important to the entire business.
Sustainability is incredibly important for Enchanted Rock and for our customers. Solar plus storage can't provide what a data center needs. It can provide 4 hours, but it can't provide days, weeks on end, which is what we need to do for our customers, data center, hospital, grocery stores, etc. So we still need a fuel, so we try to find the cleanest fuel available from a local emissions perspective. We've continued down the path to make our emissions cleaner to the point we now qualify for the most stringent requirements in the world with regards to local emissions.
We have a patented design. Our units have airflow from bottom to top, allowing a much higher density of power on a per square foot basis. Second, natural gas has much lower emissions. Our generators, in fact, are the only generators on the market, the only reciprocating engine on the market that has CARB BG certification. And then finally, it interacts with our Granite ecosystem software. And that, along with the fact that we operate hundreds of units in the fleet, gives us a much better ability to predict problems or resolve the problems when they happen in a much more timely manner.
Our core mission is really to make electrical resiliency exponentially more accessible to critical infrastructure companies. We want to bring it to a price point that any customer can achieve on their own. And we find that most of our customers, they really don't want to be in the business of owning and operating a microgrid or backup generation. What they would love to see is when somebody else manages it completely. And that's our job, and we're experts at doing that. And now companies that never would have considered backup power or electrical resiliency before can consider it and do it in a way that actually meets their budget.
To learn more and find a reliable and sustainable power resiliency solution for your organization, visit enchantedrock.com.